How's everyone today? Johnny Vivento here again. I'm hoping that you enjoy this view of what I have from my bedroom. It's beautiful out there. See the mountains in the background? That's why internet isn't that great. But anyway, how you doing? I made a video yesterday. I wasn't very happy with it. Actually, I'm not mentioning Sarasota Tim anymore. That's one of the things that I've been doing recently, and I get it. I've been doing it for a long time now. I like Sarasota Tim. I really want to be the only one who was on his side. Okay? Basically, that's what it was. And I wanted to show that. I want to show the love for the guy. That I think he does a great job. And I was happy to be on his side. Basically, that's really what it was. Sorry if it's windy today. I don't know how the video is going to be. I don't have my microphone with me at the moment, but anyway, I just wanted to reiterate a few things. Now, we've been watching a few things on video lately, excuse me, on YouTube, about how expats are really finding it very difficult right now to move here. Everyone's worried about the new regulations, and they are something to be worried about. Now they're saying that you're not sure that you're going to get the 6 months at the airport that you've always been getting. They're saying now that they're trying to be funny, especially since the Trump crackdown on Mexicans, really, in the United States. That's really what's going on. And it's a hell of a shame, and but it's true, it's been happening. So what do we do? Well, it really doesn't affect anybody. It really doesn't. It's very few people on your initial visit will have a problem with the 6 months. That's what you're going to get. It's if people keep coming in and out. But the best thing to do is to go in one place and come in another place. Maybe that will work. That's worked for a lot of people. I've asked people about it, and that's what they said. That's what they do. Some people, they go in at Nogales, they go out at Nogales and come back in San Diego. That's possible, you know. There's other border towns that you can go through, especially in Texas, El Paso. You can go to the next town along and come across the border that way. You know, I mean, there's other ways of doing it. You know, you can go, yeah, really, that's how it is. There's a lot of places you can come in. Or if you fly from, say, I don't know, fly from Albuquerque to, I don't know, some obscure town somewhere near Guadalajara, maybe Querétaro. You know, you do that flight, and nobody's really going to bother you. Excuse me. I've been eating almonds, which is supposed to be the healthiest nut. Almonds give me a big problem. Every time I eat an almond, I have a problem. Peanuts are okay. It's just almonds. I do not know why. Okay, because they get very, very small, and they start sticking in my throat sometimes. And I've just had a big glass of water, and there's one still there. So I'm coughing. But anyway. Prices have really gone up here, but still, you know, I try and tell people this, you know, especially people who message me on a different channel. People are asking me, you know, prices have gone up, what do we do? And they want to buy somewhere. I know people want to buy places, and I'm saying, you know, if you want to go 4 blocks from the beach, you pay, let's say you pay, I'll give you an example, $200,000. If you go 1 mile from there, it's $160,000. If you go another mile from it, now you're 3 miles away, it's $125,000. Okay? Now, you're thinking, well, I want the $200,000 because yeah, but you know something, you can buy a brand new car, run it around it for 10 years, and have that place, which has only cost you $125,000 or $130,000. You saved all that money. It's the exact same apartment. You got to think in that way to save money. You know, if you want to not drive around here, you don't want to go to Nueva Vallarta or to Sayulita, which is 20, 30 miles away or something, that's fine. You know, just live close to the beach so you can walk to the beach every day, walk the same Malecon every day. And if you want to go somewhere, buy a ticket for a bus. If you want to go to, I don't know, to Guadalajara or somewhere. But I am really trying to get people to live further out. There's a place down the road. It's 1 mile outside from Puerto Vallarta, from where I live, or maybe 1.5 miles. It's called Ixtapa. A lot of people are moving there, you know. It's a lot cheaper. It's not such a nice town. It's okay. There's no problems there, but, and I like going to Ixtapa. I ride my bike to Ixtapa. I like it. I enjoy it. It's real Mexico. But places are half the price of what they are 2 miles, 3 miles down the road. Half the price. They really are. The same exact apartment. I can buy an apartment now in Ixtapa for a good one for 2 million pesos. Which 2 million pesos is about 120,000 US dollars. Okay? 2-bedroom apartment. Okay, with 2 bathrooms. In a gated community, no less, in a gated community with actual, you know, security guard out there, for 120,000 bucks. Okay, with a probably a monthly HOA of 50 bucks. Okay, now go down the road, and I'm not exaggerating. Okay, go down towards central Puerto Vallarta. Let's say 3 miles towards the main town. Maybe say 3.5 miles towards town. 3.5 miles. Okay? The same exact apartment will cost you 4 million pesos. Okay? Now, that's 240,000 US. The exact same apartment. I'm telling you, no better, no less. It will be gated. Okay? It will be gated, but 240,000 for the same size apartment. Now you're thinking, well, yeah, but yeah, it's a nicer place. I'd prefer to live down there, you know. But I'm saying it's a money aspect. You know, you're spending $120,000, or you're spending $240,000. You know, there's a lot of money involved here. Now you can buy a great car in Mexico now, electric, for 25,000 bucks. Brand new, okay? Or you can buy a good used car for $15,000. You can buy a good used car for $5,000 in Puerto Vallarta. Mechanics are much cheaper than in the US. You don't have to have insurance, and if you do have an insurance, I have this car here, which is it's a black Nissan Armada, which I brought here years ago. I think I bought that car like over 3 years ago now. It's my wife's. I don't drive it. I have my bicycle. Okay, but we have that car, and it costs us to insure $150 a year to insure that vehicle. $150 a year. Okay, now, because we have good driving, well, she has a good driving record. It isn't me. I'm not on that insurance. Actually, I know I am on the insurance. It's her plus one other driver. It's actually, I think it just went up. Sorry, I tell a lie. It's not. It's 175 because the dollar just, of course, has crashed a bit. It's not 20 anymore. It's about 17.80, I think it was today, and it's about 175 US a year, not a month, a year. I pay that for my car in the United States right now. Actually, I pay like $200 a month. My daughter's driving the car, but I have to be on the insurance until next February. Well, anyway, that's how much it costs, and you can cut a lot of money out here because it's up to you. If you want to be seen up there 2 miles down the road from where I live here, yeah, you can be seen. Say, well, I live in Versailles, or I live in, that's a nice neighborhood in the area. No, I live here. I'm happy to live where I live in Centro de Luna. I love it here. And we have the mountains. I have good internet. I have everything. I have a nice place to live. The people are nice. It's a very, very quiet place. Very, very quiet. Tranquil. I have the security gates. Can you see them down there? Okay, look. We have total security here. We have a wall around. And we also have a main security door, which is at the front of the whole complex. There's another security. You go through a security guard plus those gates, okay, to get in here, to get in the complex. And once you're in the complex, You have another security to get in, which this one is with the fob key, okay? We're very secure here. It's a beautiful place. And for what we pay, you could not beat it, okay? Nothing ever happens here. I've been living here 3.5 years, never ever heard of anything happening in this place. It's as safe as, I don't know, what'd you say, what's the wording? Safe as gold? Judging by the price of gold. Well, anyway, this is the kind of, if you want to buy, that's the way to go. I could even help you out with that. Not that I'm in the business. I don't want any money. I'm not into that. I'm just saying that I could help people out. There's a lot of people out there trying to steal your money. And I'm not one of them. If I helped somebody out and they gave me a donation, I would take it 100%. You know, but I would do a lot of work for that donation. And I could help people. I don't speak Spanish very well, but I know how to go around certain things. You learn that as you're here, the way that you get things done. Okay, you have to get things done. A lot of people do not speak Spanish. You go to the electric place to pay your electric bill. They do not speak English, not at all, not one word. They will not speak to you in English. They just won't. It's not their language. They don't want to speak it. They are not learning it. They don't, you know, they don't deal with that many expats. Usually expats have help when it comes to that kind of thing. They actually pay for help. And you can do it that way. You know, there's people out there who are very happy to take a donation or some money for you, you know, to help you. They will do it, okay? But anyway, but as I'm saying, well, actually, I'm going to go on to something different. That's that. My opinion, if you're an American who's on Social Security and you're thinking, how am I going to make it? I have to work. I see Americans working in Walmart, in Costco, in King Super, Kroger, in the New York ShopRite or Price Jobber. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I see them all the time. 70-year-old people. I used to work with people in a healthcare center. There was over 70s there. 75-year-old lady working where she has to. Not because she wants to, she has to. I work because I want to. I wanted to work last year, and I'm 68 years old, and I thought I'm going to work for another year, which I did. And I'm happy I did. I'm very, very happy I did it. It's something that makes me feel good that I did something for the community, which I did. They were looking out. They are actually, what can I say? They're begging for people in the healthcare system to work, especially in care. Okay, they really are all over the United States. But as I say, you need a clean record in mostly everything. I mean, really, you do. They really give you. They really delve into your background. It's simple as that. They do, and it's almost like adopting a kid. I've always wanted to adopt a kid. You know, I have 3 kids of my own, and I have a stepson and I've had a stepson previously who's an amazing guy, and I have a stepson now who's an amazing guy. But I've always wanted to adopt a kid. But man, when you adopt, they go through everything. They go through from the day you were born. I mean, that's how it is. You know, the United States, they're very good with this kind of detail. You know, anyway, that's how it is in most countries anyway now, with data and AI and everything, you know, that's it. But anyway, I'm going to tell you something, that if I was a guy who was on Social Security and I was worried about my future and I thought, man, what am I going to do? I would come to Mexico. You're always going to make it here. I'm telling you, get on that plane. 6 months, leave the country for a couple of days, honestly, and come through a different port, get a different way in. It's legal to come to Mexico for 180 days. It's legal. You know? They might say to you, well, can you support yourself? Well, hopefully you have a little money in the bank and you can prove that you can. But you're on vacation, right? You know, you see you're coming in to see the country. You know, you get a Social Security check. That's what I get every month. Bring your bank statement with you they've seen some constant movement coming in and out. Not that they're going to ask. I've never been asked, and I've been in and out 10 times or more. But I'm just saying that it can happen, I guess. You know, but I think if you come through a border post, not by plane, they're not going to ask you. I've seen buses going through, and they ask a few questions. Yeah, they do. But, you know, you're on vacation. There's millions of Americans every day, every week coming through. Just, you know, that's how it is. It's not, they're here to, they're okay, you're a good person, they look it up on data now, you no problems, you're coming in and out, you can do it, why not, you know? So you get to Mexico and you start your life here, basically. Just get a 6 months lease, so you have to leave after 6 months, or get a 3 months lease, live somewhere else. You know, there's hotels around here for 25 bucks a night. I mean, there are, I'm being honest, there are. And you just got to find them, you know, but there are. And you might need a little help. Maybe talk to people, you know, you might find some help. You might know someone living here and get some advice, you know, but honestly, you should do it and come here and live. There's a lot of people living here and they don't have any permanent or temporary visa. They don't have it, they just live here. There's a lot of holiday makers, people, actually vacationers around here who live here on this complex. That are here for 6 months every single year. They never have a problem, ever. You know, I've never heard of any problems with any of them. And they live here, they come in and out non-stop, you know. Some of them own places here, they don't rent, they own. But they're not going to ask you if you own or not, you know. You're either coming in, out, they're not going to ask if you're an owner of a place. They're going to ask what you're doing here, and you say, I'm going to stay and put around, I'm going to find a cheap hotel. I'm not sure for how long, but I might go around for, okay. They check you now. There's AI. They know exactly all about you. They press a button and they have your whole data there. It's just, that's how it is. It's all these countries do nowadays. You know, countries at borders are stopping people all the time. Once you're here, as I say, it's an easy transition. What do you need? A place for the night. You need food. You have the beach, which is down the road. It's free. You might want to live in another Mexican town. Honestly, there's a guy called Skint Northerners on video. He's on YouTube. They're a young couple from Northern England who are going around. They're amazing. They are amazing. You know, they have a channel that's getting more successful by the day. He's very, very funny, the guy. They're very, like, simple people. And they're going around Mexico and actually, they're going to South America. They've been all around South America. They've been to India, Pakistan, all these countries. They're doing a worldwide tour on their YouTube money. Now, I'm looking at their subscribers, how many views and whatever. They're not making much. They're probably making a couple of $1,000 a month, I would guess. You know, and they're doing it on their YouTube money, and they're doing very, very well. These guys are in their 30s, you know, and I'm being honest. You know, you don't need a lot of money, okay? So you can do it on your Social Security, especially if you're a couple. If you're a couple, you both got a Social Security, even if one has less than the other, it doesn't matter. At least you have 2 Social Securities coming in. You're going to be okay. You're going to make it here. And you're going to live the life where you don't need a lot of money to live. You don't have to go to restaurants every day. You don't have to go to festivals. Or go to a festival. They're not expensive. I saw one the other day in Puerto. You just walk in, see the festival. You might buy a cheesecake or something, or a cup of coffee or a beer or whatever, and it's cheap. You know, it's just, you can do that. There's always something going on here. Anyway, I hope I've given you a little bit of advice, and I'm not mentioning Sarasota Tim anymore, as you see. I'm just going to give advice to Americans and Canadians and Europeans if they're listening, Brits, Germans, French. We can even go to the, actually I would like to address the German viewers here. Deutsche Leute, Kinder, Männer, Frauen. Bitteschön, komm hier nach Puerto Vallarta, ist ein schöner Weltstadt, ist es schon. Und we're going to have some fun. Love you all. Bye.